Based on our previous discussion about plant cell and animal cell, based on their similarities and differences, right? You have to take note that plant cell and animal cell, okay, might have a slight difference because there are some parts in which it is not present in animal cell, but mostly present in plant cell. Got it? So to continue, we were able to describe the theory, based on what is meant by a cell. As I've explained to you since last week, a cell is a basic unit of living things. Plant cells or animal cells, either those belongs to multicellular organism and unicellular organism. There is what we call organelles. Okay, so what do you mean by the word organelles? When we talk about organelles, these are small parts within the cell. Each organelle has a specific and different job to do in order to keep the cell alive, right? And we're done with the organelles. Remember also the word prokaryote. What is meant by the word prokaryote and eukaryote? I already explained this to you. When you talk about prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, under that category, prokaryote is the simplest cells, single cell with few basic organelles, DNA floating around and contained. So this contains flagellum, DNA, the ribosomes, capsule, cell wall, plasma membrane. So in other words, their body-like structure that may contain life is the presence of DNA and the cilia and flagella, because this organism can survive under water condition or even air condition. So all those examples, like the group of microorganisms, harmful and useful bacteria, belongs to prokaryotic cell. You understand, guys? It is belong to single-celled organism. Therefore, when you talk about prokaryote or prokaryotic cell, this fall under unicellular organism. When we talk about eukaryotic, what does that mean? When we talk about eukaryotic, again, eukaryotic cell, complex cells, because this involves with the presence of cell. Cell works together to become tissues. Tissue develop into organs, then organs develop into organ system. And then that will be identified as a fully grown organism, either human, animals, or plant organism. So it can be 2 or more cells, more organelles, DNA contained within the nucleus. Therefore, these fall under multicellular organism. So, as what we have been discussed yesterday, that all plants and animal cells fall under multicellular organisms, in other words, eukaryotic cell. You understand, guys? Okay? So, let's continue. So, this one, we already have this identification. Okay? So, what these pictures belongs to? Prokaryotic or eukaryotic? Louder. These pictures are prokaryotic cell. Okay? So the presence of amoeba, bacillus, the bacterial group, microorganisms. Alright? So next one. What these pictures belongs to? Eukaryotic or prokaryotic cell? Is that prokaryotic or eukaryotic cell? Okay, so this one belongs to eukaryotic cell. So these examples, you have nerve cells, blood cells, the presence of the plant cell structures, animal cell structures, all right? So digestive cells or intestinal cells. Okay, so there are so many things that we can identify in these pictures. So this group of eukaryotic cells determined with 2 or more cells under multicellular organism. So prokaryote or eukaryote are animals and plant cells or prokaryote cells in which, how can we identify between the two? How can we identify between the two? Very simple, right? So all those things belongs to what? Eukaryotic cell. Remember that. Plant cells, animal cells. Okay? Because these contain with complex organs. Okay? Only thing that we consider prokaryotes are those microscopic structure of the cell, which is usually cannot easily identify or visible to human eye. Talking about eukaryotes, plant and animal cells are both eukaryote cells because they are multicellular and may contain many organelles within its cell, including nucleus where the DNA is stored. Right? How are they different? We know plants and animals look different. How are they different? When it comes to shapes and even sizes. So shapes of the cell for plant cells are rectangular. So in plant cells, these are usually rectangular or boxy. Regularly shaped, animal cells are round or oval, irregular in shape. Okay? The structure of the cells, okay, have a cell wall. So remember, plant cells have mainly cell wall. The cell wall provides the plant cell with support. Animal cells do not have cell walls because they have skeletons that provide, okay, the support. So that is why animals or human doesn't have cell wall, only present in plant cells. Okay? Some parts of the cells, chloroplast only found in plant cells, but absent in animal cells. Remember that. So therefore, chloroplast produces food for the plant cell during the process of photosynthesis. So most green plants on earth, okay, may contain chloroplast during the process of photosynthesis, in order to get the substance or the green coloring pigment, what we call chlorophyll. So certain organelles that usually present, we have the chloroplast produces food by converting sunlight into sugar by the process called photosynthesis. How are they the same? We know plants and animals are both eukaryotic cells. I'll repeat. Both plants and animals are eukaryotic cells. So they also have similarities and slight differences. So how are they the same? Plants and animal cells are both eukaryotic cells. Both they have nucleus or the brain activity or the control center of the cell. So this is where DNA hands out. All eukaryotic cells have nucleus surrounded by nuclear membrane. So as I've explained to you earlier, that nuclear membrane, okay, this will give also energy and life of the cells. Okay, so you may wonder why some cells shrink, okay, contract and relax, right? So why some cells might also dead, like dead skin or dead cells, okay? How to make it alive? So with the help of the nucleus, it helps to activate and obtain or sustain more energy with the help of mitochondria too, aside from the nucleus. Because remember, nucleus is the control center of the cell. So the cell membrane controls what gets in and out of the cell. So this helps the water, nutrients, and minerals, okay, help to pass through with the cell membrane. It is the small hole opening or pores in which it can pass through in and out. So remember that plant cell has cell wall outside of the cell membrane. Helps to activate more energy for growth and let the cell alive. Another thing, why are they the same? They are similar because cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance within the cell where the organelles are positioned. So both have mitochondria. When we talk about mitochondria, means to say this helps to produce energy for the cell. Aside from that, it is the powerhouse of the cell. This will act as a battery to provide energy in order that the nucleus, as the control center, can dictate and let the cell alive. Remember that both have vacuoles, and sometimes some animals doesn't have vacuoles. Vacuoles store food and water in both plants and animal cells. Vacuoles in plants are much larger. Why? Because sometimes there were more than one vacuoles or more vacuoles in animal cells. So it depends on the content of the vacuole particles in both plants and animal cells. So to continue, plant cells therefore, okay, has a shape, box or rectangular, regular shape, and have a cell wall for support. So as you can see in there, there are various parts, as you have seen in this picture, right? Okay, between plant cell and animal cell structure. So in the future, as I've said yesterday, that you will be making project like this using clay. Okay? Have you ever tried before when you were in grade school? So you will be working on like this by group, plant cell and animal cell model. Okay, so that you would understand mainly what this structure exactly all about. So plant cells have a cell wall for support. Animal cell no cell wall and don't need because it has skeleton. Plant cell have chloroplasts to produce food through the process of photosynthesis, while animal cells doesn't have chloroplast because it obtain food by ways of finding, or they are just depending what's available source in their own environment for feeding and nutrients. Then plant cells, one large vacuole. Animal cells has small vacuoles or sometimes no vacuoles. Okay? So when you try to look at this model, okay, you worked this out yesterday. Then the other one for a plant cell, okay, so that one. So what is the one way can 100% know that this is the plant cell? Okay, give me your answer, this one. What's your answer? What is one way that you're sure 100% that this is a plant cell? What's your answer? Letter C. Okay. So keep that answer. What is the one way that you are sure that this is an animal cell? Okay. So keep that answer first. So that would be part of our overview. Okay, before we move forward to our next topic related to photosynthesis. But for this time being, let's try to have some activities to enhance your learning through learning activity by labeling the parts of animal cells and plant cells. Okay, so please be ready.